Okay. All right, please. What we are still doing is we are sending our name, our role, and also the link to any of our social media on the chat box so that people can connect with you. Please do well to make sure your mic is muted, please, so you do not distract the event. And also your cameras as well. Your video, please do well to mute it. All right. Once again, welcome to Bincom Dev Center ICT Career Talk May 2025. My name is Duridi Machuku, and I'll be your host for today. We are glad to have you all joining us today on this amazing event that is packed with a lot. And I know before the end of this event, we'll be going home with a lot of stuff that we've learned today. All right. So joining us in this event today are two amazing men of timber and caliber, Engineer Kwame Emmanuel and Mr. Olofu MC Adams as our speakers today. We are glad to have you all today joining us, sirs. Can you say hello to us?
Thank you. Thank you and hello. My name is Apple. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for honoring our invitation. All right. Before I invite the first speaker to speak to us, I would want us to please take down our questions that we're going to ask by the end of this event. After the first and the second speakers are done speaking, we're going to entertain questions. Please draft out a lot of questions for the speakers. I want us to have so many questions to ask them by the end of the event. All right. So please join me to welcome Engineer Akwame Emmanuel as one of our distinguished speakers for this event. With over 18 years of experience in the ICT industry, Ako is a visionary digital strategist and the founder of Soft Sports Communications Limited. His work has played a transformative role in expanding broadband access, enabling smart infrastructure, and building emergency response systems across various sectors. As a recognized thought leader, he continues to shape the future of digital innovation and connectivity in Nigeria and beyond. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much once again for honoring our invitation. And the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the introduction. Plenty things, but my name is just Akho Agebobe. I'm one of you. We're all together in this tech journey, So I'm speaking first today. I'll be sharing my screen so that we go through my slides together. I hope that a lot of us today will be able to take home some actionable points. When I speak on events like this, my goal is usually at the end of the event, there should be one or two things you can pick and run with immediately. No long talk, just pick and run with it. So I'm going to go straight and share my screen now. Okay, so you have to allow me to share my screen.
Yes, I'm going to do that. 1 minute, please.
Okay.
All right, sir. You have access now. You can share your screen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So we can begin now. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about unlocking a successful digital career to be for us to be future ready. Okay, so what does future ready mean? Future ready means more than just having technical skills. It's about having the mindset, tools, and strategic insight to adapt, innovate, and excel in the digital age. We have to have the dynamic career landscape. This career landscape is no longer linear. It is dynamic and shaped by exponential technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, and cloud computing. We are no longer prepared for one job. We're preparing for a lifetime of evolving work and lifelong learning. Why does digital career matter today? Like never before, it's a massive opportunity for us to be able to key in to the current trends. Because the entire world right now, everything is going IT, everything is going digital. So most people, young people, I mean people of all ages, truly, because there are much older people too that are doing great things in IT. It matters so much today because the global spending, you know, is expected to reach the amount of $3.4 trillion by 2025, according to Ghana, signifying massive investment across all sectors. We know as a last year, OpenAI, there was a very massive budget that they had like $500 billion or something like that, just OpenAI only. So I mean, you can imagine what this kind of budgets mean for employments, for different kinds of roles. According to Dell and the Institute for Future, 85% of the jobs that will exist by 2030 haven't been invented yet. And this is so true because we begin to hear of this various kind of roles these days, interesting roles. Now, even when we look at AI and how where AI is taking us to, you know, while AI seems to want to take away jobs from people, it's creating new kinds of jobs. The ability to think and use constructive prompts, prompt engineering becomes something that it's a new kind of role and job. So it's a 5%, that's a lot of jobs, that will exist by 2020. That's just a lot of jobs. So we should understand that these are the part of the reasons why digital career matter today. That's the reason why we have to orient our minds towards digital careers and take steps towards building building a good strategy to achieving this. Nigerian youths, over 70% of Nigerian population is under the age of 30, which we all know is a country of youths, and we have had slogans in the past about youth. I don't want to say the slogans, but of course, yeah, but we know that we are entrepreneurial, as Nigerians. We are smart. We have a lot of smart people, so we can key into this, representing a potential demographic dividends when digitally empowered. Now, there are some pillars of digital career we're going to talk about. Now, one of them is continuous learning, communication and collaboration, tech tools and platforms, critical thinking, digital literacy. Now, for continuous learning, because naturally we know that technology keeps on evolving. From in my own core field, which was infrastructure before I moved into digital product, we had times when we had hardware that after 2 years, you might buy them for thousands of dollars, but after 2 years, they become obsolete. We have stores and stacks of them. The same way it is with all areas of technology. That's why it has to be continuous learning. We have to continue to learn. We have to have that mindset to continue learning. It's not a situation where you just pick up a skill, get good at it, and think that that's what will continue to be relevant in the next year, in the next 2 years, and the next decade. No, you have to have the mindset of continuous learning. There has to be communication and collaboration. You have to work across borders and time zones. That is very prevalent now because we see a lot of guys who are already in the field of digital career, having clients in different geographical zones. You have to be able to collaborate. You have to just connect. That's what that means. Then tech tools and platforms, familiarity with emerging digital tools like the whole gamut of GPTs now, all sorts of technology. We have to be familiar with them for us to be able to excel. Critical thinking. Now, critical thinking can be developed, can be built, because you might want to ask yourself, do I think critically? You might find it a bit of a challenge answering that question, but not to worry, because once you delve into a career path, for information technology, as you progress, you see case studies and you do projects, you begin to learn and train yourself to solving problems and thinking critically. But it's one of the main virtues, thinking critically, because you have to. If you notice the way applications are now, the way the entire tech landscape is, you can see that it is tending to flawless. Applications work seamlessly, everything just works because people are thinking critically and they are solving a lot of problems. Digital literacy, finding and evaluating and using digital tools. So this is what being dynamic. You need to be able to see a tool, evaluate it, know that it fits what you need to do, and things like that. That's digital literacy. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the emerging digital career path. So we're familiar with most of them. If we are people in this audience, they are IT, but for the people that are not IT, we have data science and AI. AI is popular, everybody's talking about it. We have cybersecurity and ethical hacking. We have cloud computing. We have UI and UX and product designs. We have digital marketing, software engineering. Now, we'll get to that anyway, but one thing that we should know is that for digital careers, both the programmer and the non-programmer is accommodated. So you cannot think that, oh, I must learn Python, I must learn this, no, that's not. There are areas in digital career that you actually might have the prerequisites right now, but you're not in IT. You have some transferable skills. So by this program, we're encouraging you to actually look deeper, because it is not only people that do programming. There are so many other areas. Like I've just mentioned, there's e-commerce and fintech. skills versus degree. Now, in Nigeria, we place a premium on degrees. Now, I'm not going to discount the fact that degrees are important. We had a conversation a couple of days ago in the office, myself and a cybersecurity aspiring tech guy, So I'm of the opinion that you build your capacity in terms of all the hard skills, the programming, if it is, the cloud platforms, search engine optimization, UI design, using tools like Figma, Adobe XD, and things like that. But the need for a degree is a bit overrated here, but it's still necessary because when the push comes to shove, you become very good in what you are doing. You will eventually require some kind of paperwork when you have to lead. Because when you want to lead, they want to make you a leader, you have become so good, they will begin to consider paperwork, and that could become a problem. So I'm not going to play down on degree. I would encourage everybody to still try to get a degree if you haven't gotten, but that is not going to stop your journey in digital career. So you need to possess the top soft skills: adaptability, responding swiftly to change, curiosity, eagerness to explore new tools and ideas, resilience, recovering quickly from setbacks. A lot of us in Nigeria, that we are resilient. I know that because we're able to pick ourselves up and move. It's a very good quality because a lot of times you're going to meet challenges. It's not everything you put your hand in at the get-go that works. So being able to bounce back quickly or recover from setbacks is very important. We should, as Thomas Edison said, we should look at all those attempts that failed as unworkable. They are not, if in other words, that style of approach is not workable. That way we will not see failures as like something that has brought you down. So you will eventually get the one that will work. But once it doesn't work, please, 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 you need to pick yourself and move on, because it will eventually work. Just like Thomas Edison, the light bulb, I think it was 1,000 times he tried. Continue to try and try, and just imagine 1,000 times. Eventually, one worked, and now we have the light bulb everywhere in the world. So please, let's be resilient. I said that because that's one of the things that a lot of times that stops people on their tracks. We have to be curious. We have to ask the right questions every time. Eagerness to explore new ideas, new tools and ideas. Tech guys are actually like this. They are gadgety type of people. So they are always trying to look at things, understand things. And so you have to have that curiosity, adaptability, again, because things get obsolete very quickly. So we have to respond swiftly to change. The hard skills are programming, like Python, JavaScript, cloud platforms, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, search engine optimization, analytics, UI designs using tools like Figma, Adobe XD, SQL, managing and querying database. Wow. So the long and short of this is that the degree will not stop you from excelling massively in digital careers. It won't stop you, So that cannot now be the condition why you can't, But I would still advise, in your journey, you need to try to acquire some kind of degree, especially if you are aspiring for the peak of your career in terms of managerial. At that point, they may need to consider all those things before they can accept you into their fold. So that is my take on that. Building your digital career toolkit. Now, we have learning platforms, we have certifications, we have practical tools, we have supportive networks. some of us might or might not know, there are places like that. There are platforms like Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning. They all offer accessible world-class training. These days, online training, online schooling is it's almost like a new order. Lots of applications, lots of platforms are being created to interconnect big and massive universities. I know someone just completed some program in Harvard, and the experience that they gathered from it, when they relate the experience, you'll be like, it's real. It's like a tangible experience. It's as good, maybe not even better than some classroom experience. So classroom might these days be a bit overrated, because there are some very interesting tools when it comes to online learning that does better than a lecturer, doing cold calls, because his computer, of course, is strict. And so let me not go into all that, but yeah. So this Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, they all offer accessible world-class training. So please, you can look into that. Then practical tools. There's Canva for designs. Some of them need to be a bit pricey because you need to pay for some of them. GitHub for code, people that want to be doing programming and coding, ChatGPT, AI productivity, with all the lots of GPTs that are under ChatGPT. Then cloud, Google Cloud infrastructure. Then there are certifications you want to look into, which is AWS Cloud Practitioner, CompTIA, Security Plus, Google Digital Garage, and Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. So the Azure Fundamentals and AWS, it's almost in the same category when it comes to cloud computing. Then you need supportive networks. You need networks like this, which is a Bincom community. You need networks in Twitter, Discord groups, Stack Overflow, and local tech meetups. It's very important. You cannot operate in the IT field in isolation. That is the truth. You cannot. For me, I've been in it for maybe like about 18 years or thereabout. You know, there are guys from way back that we still connect at different levels. I sometimes, when there are things that you face, there's no monopoly in terms of knowledge, in terms of IT. There are things that you meet when you are trying to do things, a project, and you say, oh, and then again, these networks help. Why does it help? Because you cannot really pay for every consultation. That's the truth. But you can have a friend who you from a network that you is now CCIA or is now full stack or something like that. And what you really need is just a little tip to be able to navigate through a problem. You just pick up the phone. How far is it? So these networks, supportive networks, they help. We need to, even if we are not so social, we should be intentional. We should identify that this thing is important, then I have to go for it. I have to do it. So we need to build our supportive networks. There's a case study. There's some guy. That was in 2023. Yeah. Okay, he's from Edo. That's where our own base is. Yeah, his name is Ose, and he started his journey by learning about cloud computing through free courses like the ones I just mentioned just now. YouTube, there are a lot on YouTube, and Google Cloud Learning Platform. I mean, you just do hours. Those data that you buy, and all you're doing is, I'm not saying chatting is bad or just checking posts and things like that, But you can use those things to better yourself in such a way that when you begin to do these kinds of things in the next 1 or 2 years, if you do it, deliberately and conscientiously, you'll be amazed what all those small, tiny investments and letting go of some kind of habits that are not really beneficial will be. everything we're talking here when it comes to IT is foreign exchange, because at the end of the day, once you land your jobs and land your clients, yeah, it's all foreign exchange. So the question of it's not enough, I don't have this, I don't have that, will not arise. So he started his journey in 2023. He built some projects, small projects, just small projects on, and hosted them in the cloud and documented his work. After just 7 months of focused and dedicated pursuit, 7 months, about 2 weeks, I remember, it was about just under 8 months, he became a Google certified cloud engineer. He leveraged all the freelance platforms to get remote jobs and now works with most with clients across Europe and North America. I mean, when I talked about time zones and everything that's earlier, I just remembered him because you see him trying to manage, because of course some places are 6 hours ahead and things like that, or 6 hours behind. So it's possible. If it's possible, if people say could do it, people say could do it could do it in under 8 months. You can too. It doesn't have to be 8 months. It's 1 year far. We're already in June. This is a day to last day in May. We're already 6 months. Which day do we do Happy Christmas here? You understand? So it's not hard to just put in the time. So if at the beginning of 2025 you said, okay, I'm going to pursue this, if we are going by Ose's story, you are in about a month or 2 months' time, you have achieved a major thing. And maybe by the end of the year, you have started crediting your accounts in foreign exchange or some massive naira equivalent. Even in Nigeria, guys earn a lot. So these things are possible. I need to encourage us, and demystify the impression that IT is for some kind of people. No, it's not for some kind of people. Truth of the matter is that as far as you can operate gadgets, you can read and write, you can think, you can become IT. Yeah, so that guy would have told people about. The guy right now is he's 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 heading an IT department in one of the missions in UN. His original originally studied in schools, microbiology, had no knowledge of computers or IT or anything like that. So he looked at it and microbiology sometimes it might be a bit of a challenge if you want to get yourself something that matches what you studied. So he met me a long time ago and said that he wanted to pivot into IT, that he wanted a computer. Then we used to build computers. I used to build computers a lot. So I built a computer for him. I was very happy. And then we put him through some kind of thing, calls every time, we encourage ourselves and things like that. And I continued. He became CCI, moved him to a UN mission, so it's possible. People in political science, people in social sciences, a lot of them. So understand that it's possible for you. There are some myths that we need to bust here, because a lot of thoughts that we have in our minds that is stopping us from being able to achieve these things. That you must code to succeed. I know someone that is this thing is a problem. It's like it's just staring him in the face that he must code. He must code. You must. It doesn't. You don't have. It's not everybody there that is coding. Everybody is not. Yeah, everybody is not building and making codes and writing scripts. It's not everybody. There is a big part of it: security, compliance, governance, risk assessment. There's a lot of areas that is heavy IT, but it doesn't have anything to do with coding. It's false. There are different kinds of roles: design, strategy, content, project management. They are all IT, please. So let us forget you don't need coding. If you don't like coding, it's okay. There are some people that do not like coding. If you do not like coding, it's very okay. Me, I'm with you. It's okay. There are other areas you can go to, and you get, you get a fulfilling, a very fulfilling experience in digital careers. I don't have money for courses. Again, from sales course, you can see he went online. He's there, just search it. Google, even if it's, for example, it's in cyber security. Just go there, just search it. You will see videos, 1, 2, 3 hours, full courses, free of charge. Just there, just buy your small data and be watching them. Then find a little money and write the exams. A lot of some people, like I remember there was a time in Benin University offered some discounted prices for certifications. I know this kind of things happen in different places. So money cannot be the issue. It's totally cannot be the issue. So there are many platforms that offer scholarships and of free versions, a lot of them. And at the end of the day, the knowledge you get is useful. You will be doing things. I'm too old, it's too late. Again, we all know that it's not, I mean, the big guys, you want to call Bill Gates old now? Who do you want to call old? All those, you want to call Elon Musk old? You can call them older, but those guys are thinkers. As till now, they are still applying themselves and they are still charting new course, breaking barriers. So anybody can get as far as you can, those basic things. You can reason why, you can read and write, you can get into IT, please. Then about working as a digital expert. There is the remote work, on-site work. There is AI, human collaboration. There's tech and humanities. There's the local talent, global reach. Now, the remote and plus on-site work, it's a combination of both. A lot of times these days, we prefer remote because of what the opportunity avails us. You can do multiple jobs, take multiple projects and things like that. So which is fine, that's all right. I can say my own opinion, my own perspective. Remote is cool, but from health standpoint, I'm generally not too in support of. I prefer hybrid more. You need to be able to socialize and things like that. But that is my opinion. If you can, I mean, so there are some guys. I know some guys in the UK that they are doing 100% remote to take care of the health part of it. Once they complete their day's work, they put on their trainers, they dress themselves up, they go for their 2 hours walk, they do it every day. So if you can find a way to balance these things, then it's fine. But if you can't, then you need to find a way to incorporate hybrid. So sometimes you can be part of some people. Then AI plus human collaboration. Human brings empathy and creativity. AI brings speed and scale. So what this means is that while we believe AI does a lot of stuff, at the end of the day, we had this discussion yesterday, at the end of the day, the human factor is very important because just to smoothing those edges is the human being that will do it. AI is not going to do it. AI cannot, it can build and build capacity in terms of all the building its knowledge base and things like that. But those twists, human beings will twist and just make a change and just imagine something. AI still can't do it. That's for that. Then tech and humanities. Ethics, culture, and creative expressions are just as important as codes. So we know that this still borders somewhere around cybersecurity. Now we know that a lot of things happen online, but just like the online world, there's the offline world. The offline world, we believe in respect. You have to do things properly. There's a way to do things. The same thing in the online world. We have to have ethics. We have to have a good culture, be polite. You talk to people online. Just because you are not seeing them does not mean you will just write whatever you want to write. No, they are human beings, real people. So you have to do all these things, when you are engaging. Then we should have the mindset, that to be able to work from Nigeria or from anywhere. Should you want to leave Nigeria, yes, it's fine. From Nigeria or impact the whole world, we should be thinking more remote. You can be in Nigeria. A lot of people are already doing this. Be in Nigeria and work for someone in Japan. Serious work. Work for someone in the UK, in the US, and everywhere. So we should begin to think about ourselves that we're employable globally, not just Nigeria. So we should broaden our minds. That's what IT, that's what digital careers will give you. Because Python or JavaScript or AWS or any of those hard skills that you learn today is relevant everywhere. It's not like maybe electrical or some other kind of technologies where when you acquire it, you learn it. When you take it, let's say Nigeria, let's say electrical, for example, it's 220 volts we're using here. Once you move to the US, it becomes different. There might be some similarities, but there's some fundamental differences. It's not like that. What you learn in terms of digital career and IT, you learn in Nigeria, here, wherever you are, in the remotest village in Nigeria, but that's where you learned it. You can use that skill anywhere in the world. So you become employable anywhere in the world. So we should begin to think that our mind should open up and think that way. That's very important. Steps to unlock a digital career. Self-discovery. Identify your passion. For those that are interested, you might want to take notes because this is how you begin to build your strategy. You can identify your passion, your talent, and problem-solving style. You have to self-evaluate yourself. Choose a digital path based on interest, design, code, data, content, strategy. Yeah, IT strategies. So there are lots of stuff. So, you choose your path. You could be good in strategy. Or let's say, for example, you've been into maybe politics, for example, in Nigeria, where you're like, oh, you want to do something else. You want to be more relevant, more useful. And you have successfully done some political maneuvers, things like that. That's a transferable skill. I'm not saying from the not so good part of it. I'm talking about from the fact that you can strategize. Because at the end of the day, once they're smoothing the person out and structure how you should approach strategy in terms of IT, you become very good. So you choose your path. When you have evaluated yourself, you have to choose your path. There are still you need mentoring there, so which is important. So there should be free mentoring platforms. You could even networks, friends, people, speak to them, so that you can choose the right path. Then learn and build projects. So start simple, like OSS case, build a portfolio. Even unpaid work counts. In fact, it counts so much because, for example, if you are building websites and you want to, from your very first website, be paid, there's problem. So you need to build, get feedback, begin to do projects. Then you're now building capacity, you're not understanding. So volunteering, that is big abroad. Volunteering. So unpaid work counts. So you need to learn and build projects. You have to say, I have done this or I have done that. You cannot just come, you have learned all that you have learned, and you have not done anything. So because all these things are live. There might be a live network you're working on, you have live things that are live. So you have to have some antecedents. Then showcase online. A lot of people do it these days. Learn to do it is important. Use platforms like LinkedIn, GitHub, and Behance to demonstrate your progress. So people will see it. It's practical. I used to tell people, you know, about IT. Sorry, I'm digressing a lot, but I used to tell, I say this, that IT is not like road construction. It's not, it's not like all those kind of, in road construction, somebody can come, just pave the road, put a very thin layer of asphalt on it, just paint it black and make it look like it's tarred. And you can come and the car will drive on it and vehicles will drive on it. There's a road. You shake your hand, everybody's happy, you will go home. When you do a project in IT, you're building an application or you are setting up a network and everything, the day you say you have finished, when somebody comes and attempts to use it, that's a true test. It's not, even if you spend $1 million building an application, if it is not going to work, it will show itself on the very first day. It's not going to spare you. It's not going to manage. The road will continue to be okay for 6 months. Then when rain falls, you now say, you did a bad job. It's not going to do that. The very first day, you will see it. It will just not work. So that is how IT operates. So you have to know what you are doing, which means that you have to have tested and tested and tested and things like that. So the network and apply. We talked about this before. Reach out to mentors, attend events, this kind of events. Look for them and attend them. It costs nothing. Participate in online communities. So these are our call to action. Now, the first step is enroll in that course. Take the first step with the course you have been postponing. Today, this night, today. Instead of that thing you wanted to go and do, just shelve it. There are a lot of things that we can shelve and do what we need to do. There are a lot of things. If it's important, we create the time. Just do it. Start it. Like it says, just do it. Join one active tech group. Connect with a community this week. You can start from here, Bincom. Connect with the community. Build a basic project. Create a simple website, blog, portfolio, whatever it is. Of course, this is not going to be today. You would have built a little bit of capacity there. Then document and share. Share your process. It builds visibility. LinkedIn is free. A lot of these platforms are free. You share it, people will see it. So that's what I have. Like Peter Drucker said, I would say that the best way to predict the future is to create it. I'm quoting Peter Drucker here. Now, I'll quickly just explain what that means. How is your January of next year going to be? How is your June of next year going to be? How is your 2026 going to be? It is what you create today that will determine it. So what we are experiencing today, to a large extent, is as a result of things that we did in the past. So if you take the right step today, you have created a future that you can now predict. So with this, I'm going to release the floor, the stage back to our wonderful moderator, so other speakers can have the floor. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful and amazing presentation. I learned a lot. I know others did too. Okay, so before we invite the next speaker, I would want us to fill out a digital form. Please, this form is for us to know what we are doing right and what we are not doing right, just for you to give us feedback on how the event is going. And I'll be dropping the link to this form on the chat box, so please do well to click on it and do the needful. All right, please, I hope we are taking down questions for our speakers. We'll take questions by the end of this event. All right, thank you. So once again, join me to welcome Mr. Olufu MC Adams, an accomplished full-stack developer and co-founder of megaflips.com, as one of our speakers for this event. With over 10 years of experience, MC Adams has a solid track record of building sophisticated and scalable web applications. He brings deep expertise in modern development tools and frameworks, including Nest.js, Node.js, PHP. All right. PHP, HTML, Tailwind, CSS, JavaScript, and TypeScript. His innovative work and entrepreneurial journey make him an inspiring voice for anyone aspiring to thrive in the digital tech space. Welcome once again, Mr. Olufu MC Adams. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Please
Welcome, sir. I can hear you.
hear me? Okay. So I'm so honored to be here on this job. I want to thank the members of this event. And as the doctor said, I am just a software. I have been in the ICT for 10 years.
Sorry, excuse me, sir. Can you hear me?
Please, can you hear me? Yes.
Okay, I don't know whether it's from my own end, but your voice is breaking. Is it the same with others? Please, we can unmute and speak. I don't know if it's from my own end. Maybe I need to adjust my network.
Yeah, it's same thing here. I can hardly hear.
Okay. So, okay, I think it's from your end. It's still breaking. Yes, your voice is still breaking. Still the same thing. Can't still hear you all. Okay, maybe try to drop off and set your network up and join again. Maybe that would solve the issue. All right, while we are waiting for our second speaker, I would want to share my screen to tell you about this wonderful organization that brought this ICT career talk to you today. Please 1 minute, let me share my screen. Mr. Olufu, please, once you're able to speak, let me know. All right, please hope you can see my screen. Can we hear me, please? Can we confirm we can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Please, can you hear me?
Okay, please, as I'm doing this, I would want the people that joined us late to please connect with us, connect with every other person you're seeing on the chat box, and also drop your name, your role, and the link to any of your socials you want us to connect with you on. Thank you. All right, Mr. Adams, can you speak now?
Please, can you hear me?
I don't know. I think it's still the same thing. Is it just from my end? Can you try speaking now, please? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Please, can you hear me?
Your network, I don't know whether it's your network or it's really bad. Your voice keeps breaking. No, it's still breaking. Still struggling to rest. Can you switch to another network if it's possible?
It's possible. Hello.
Okay. I think you're back now. Okay, we lost him again. Okay. Please, can anyone else hear him? Because it's showing me too that my own network is not good.
No, please, we can't hear him.
Okay. No, sir, it's still the same thing. We can't hear you. Okay, Mr. Adams, maybe try rejoining again. Let's see if it will solve the problem.
Let me try rejoining. Let me try rejoining. So,
All right.
let me try rejoining.
Okay. All right, please, apologies for that. Please, let's give him some time to rejoin again, and let's see if that will solve the issue. Please, let's try and fill out the form. The link to the form is on the chat box. Please, we need your feedback. Thank you.
Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. It's perfect.
Okay,
Yes,
it's
we can
perfect
hear
now.
you.
Okay. Okay. So I think I guess I joined there was a second link that was sent to me there was a second link that was sent to me. So I just clicked it now and it went. So I'm so sorry for taking the time. And then like I said, I'm just an IT professional. I have 10 years of experience, but I'm more into writing software. And then all this one started, it was more like a coincidence. I happened to be admitted into the university, mathematics and computer science department. And then at around 200 level, that was 2005. And then I had this idea that in the nearest future, the world is going to become computerized. I just had that notion in me, and then I got someone that was also ahead of me. He advised me to just get a computer and start practicing. So I started my journey. Just like that, I walked up to one of my lecturers and then asked him to install some web design software for me. And then I started practicing. But by the time I was at 500 level, I started getting people coming to the university to help me build software for them, organizations. And that's how my journey started. So it was more of, let me say, a coincidence. But along the line, there are certain things that I've learned over the years, and then I just want to share with us. And today, the topic is future ready unlocking the successful career. So for us that yeah, I guess many of us we are into IT. As the first speaker have said, IT is very broad. So it depends on what you want to do. You must not necessarily become a coding person like me. You must not become a programmer. There are many aspects of IT that can venture into, maybe like copywriting, animation, and just what I've learned over years, and actually it's a passion for what you are doing. Because everybody is doing, you know, and if you don't have a passion for what you are doing, along the line, because when I was in studio, other people that came to me, they said they want to learn this IT, they want to learn coding, they want to learn. So I said, I told okay, order some books. Then they ordered those programming books. And then after, let's say, 2 months, I went back to them and I asked them how they came going. They told me that they no more have interest. So I made up my mind from the beginning that even at the age of 90, I was still coding. That was the goal I set. I said, at the age of 90, I was still coding. And it has helped me a lot. Because there are times when it's a passion that will sustain you in the IT. I know that we are from this part of the world where most of us we just want to get the money. You know, yeah, they're paying somebody at $50 per hour, they're paying this, you know, we just want to jump into it. But one thing you have to develop, passion can be developed. So you develop passion in this thing, and then it's going to sustain you in the long run. In any aspect you have chosen. If you want to be a graphics designer, you want to be a software developer, you want to go into AI, you want to any aspect of AI. And I would like to say that this computer is so broad. It's so broad that if they have to share all the, let me say, the work, or let me say the jobs, the computer jobs to all Nigerians, it will go around and it will remain. That is so much, it is so fast. Like now under AI, you have computer vision. And that's an aspect that most people haven't even gone into. Most people are still dealing with the GPT aspect of it, the text part of it. And then there's audio part of it, there's image processing, there's video processing. And that's when it has to do with computer vision. So you might just decide to say, okay, I'm going to go into computer vision. And then you take the courses, maybe you go online, there's a website, Open Vision, and then you just take their courses. And it takes time to become an active professional. You can't just wake up maybe in a day or two, and then you want to become a professional. You have to study, you have to do your research, you have to read tons of materials, you have to go through other people's works, you have to get the inspiration, and then you build yourself. And over years, you see yourself getting better. So it's not a one-day thing. It will take you years. It will take you time. Like I always say, like you have to be patient and then get to the grind. And at the end of the day, it's going to pay off for you. And so the other thing is to be determined. You need to have determination, because sometimes it's not easy. You see, there's something that we have in this part of the world. Maybe people like the easy way, the easy route. You know, it's not that easy. I will tell you in some aspect, especially maybe in the programming aspect, where you have to code and code and code. You know, but once you have that determination, then you practice, you keep practicing, then you get committed. You commit your time to it, and then you see that it yields forth the results you're looking for. So we might be asking ourselves, so where do I start from? Where do I start from in this journey of IT? And my heart desire is for every Nigerian and from every youthful person to embrace the digital market, the digital market, because it's something that can transform this country. It can transform an individual. It can transform the entire nation. You know, when you go to these platforms online, you see a lot of Indians. They're taking over this space, the IT space. I was talking with somebody in Canada the other time, he was telling me that a lot of Indians are here, they're into IT. I've talked with like 2 people, or I began to wonder, why is it that the Indians are everywhere? You know, it's because they help each other. They to teach the next person. They try to bring them in. So if all the Nigerian youths can come together and then take each segment they want to focus on, let's say in the area of, let's say, copywriting, then once you are good in that, you train other people. Then once you are good in software development, you train other. Once the training goes around, you see Nigeria will become at the forefront of this global IT revolution. I tell you, it's very possible. So you decide the niche you want to focus on. You know, like I've always said that I've said earlier, the digital marketing aspect, the programming aspect, the no code. Under programming, there are no code websites where you just drag and drop. Like when I went to Fiverr, I saw somebody. What the person was offering was just creating newsletters for organizations. Those organizations, they are very busy. So he designed a newsletter with Beehive. There's a website called beehive.net. He designs this for them for just some dollars, and he has offered those services to a lot of people. So Fiverr is a marketplace where you can go and sell your skills. So once you get trained, the next place you'll be looking at is, where am I going to sell this skill? Where am I going to offer my services? And that's where these websites come in. The remote job website, there are tons of them online. You have, let's say, Lube AI, you have remotive.ai. There are lots of those websites. You have Turing, you have Andela, you have, there is one in the UK, which I've contacted them before. And there are lots of them. So once you have this skill, then the next place is where to monetize this skill. If you want to be, let's say, a freelancer, or if you want to sell your skill, there are websites where you go to offer this skill to people, and then you get paid for it. So the next thing is an advice I would like to give also, because I'm trying to talk from my experience. The advice is whatever you do, and try to put in and the best effort in it. Try to become world class. Because when we started, I'm a self-trained, like I had to read on my own at the beginning to understand programming. I didn't have anybody teach me. They didn't teach me those things in the classroom as at then. So I had to read and keep reading, even though I didn't understand what I was reading at a point, but at the long run, I had to put one or two things together. So I would like to say I started as a self-taught programmer, and then along the line, I now discovered that being a self-taught programmer, there were some things that I learned that were not that correct, or maybe it didn't align to international standards, like maybe my way of coding, or maybe the way I indent my codes, and so you have to know what your international counterparts are doing. For instance, if you want to get a remote job, you have to learn GitHub. You have to learn how you can upload and files, those platforms where you can share your software. You have to know it. Maybe if you want to become a senior full stack developer, you have to learn Docker, you have to learn Kubernetes, you have to learn those things. So you can't just come and learn maybe HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then you say you're an international developer. Because when you get to those, the international marketplace, they'll be asking you for certain requirements. There's a way your CV should be tailored, that if you don't have those things in the CV, those international recruiters, they will always pass over. So you have to align yourself. Just try to search what's the latest, how are things being done, and then you align yourself in that direction. Okay, and then another way you get a certification too, because most of these people, they want to have a certification before they can bring you on board. So there are websites where you don't necessarily need to pay for those certifications. You just get to those websites. There are free certifications online which you can take based on your chosen field or your career in IT. And so what you have to do after that, then you have to grow the professional CV. Then you have to also contribute. There's a way to attract these employees. Sometimes maybe a blog post on what you know, maybe on your LinkedIn profile. You have to maybe update your LinkedIn profile, keep it updated with your latest work, and then sometimes you write online. Writing gives you visibility. It makes people to get to discover you. Say, oh, this person is good. This person does this. So you announce yourself. You don't wait for someone to announce you. So that's the way to be able to also to be able to get hired. And so there are tools that you can use to do these things. There are tons of tools there, but I don't know if time will permit us to be able to list each one of them. But depending on your chosen field, you can get those tools. So I think I'm just going to stop there for now, and then maybe give time for any questions and answers.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for that amazing presentation. I will really appreciate it. So I hope you're taking down your questions. But before we take the questions, let's get to know about this organization that brought the ICT Career Talk to us. 1 minute. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
All right. So the ICT Career Talk is brought to us by Bincom Development Center. So Bincom Dev Center is a multi-location technology talent development and solution platform. And we have our location virtually near you and in places like Yaba, Lagos State, Ibadan, Oyo State, Kano State, Kaduna State, Ijebu-Ibo, Ogun State, Warri, Delta State, and also in the United Kingdom. We also have plans of expanding to many more locations. Yeah, so some of our services includes Bincom Academy. So Bincom Academy utilizes the Montessori approach in training participants in basic skills needed for the modern technology ecosystem. We also have the Bincom Tech Internship, and it's designed to enable people at intermediate skill level to gain mastery and expertise over a period of time. We also have the Bincom Tech Apprenticeship and its industrial attachments at various skill levels to gain experience and on-the-job training. We also have the Bincom Tech Networks and is geared at giving back to the community and building the tech ecosystem. They focus on informing and exposing the youth to current technology trends and how to prepare for future in technology. We also have Lightspace, and it provides helpful workspace intended to encourage collaboration and drive innovations in the startup ecosystem. We have spaces that is created and designed for various events like seminars, conferences, and get-together. We also have the Bincom Global Tech Program, and is your solution to launch your tech career globally. It is a 1 to 2 year program focused on 3 key pillars: to learn skill, gain experience, and gain exposure. We also have the Emigrate Tech Visa, help you become globally attractive, and is your tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement in countries like the UK, US, Canada, France, and many more. We also have the Bincom mentoring platform, and it's a structured mentoring solutions to help mentors add value to mentees, the purpose of building globally attractive techies. We also have Labs by Bincom, and is a 3 to 6 months pre-incubator program that brings together participants to build a digital technology product which would be used by real-life users. And the last but not the least is the Bincom Tech Career Coaching, and helps individuals to land their next role faster by offering a combination of coaching, relevant on-the-job experience, career referencing, introduction to tech recruiters, hand-holding through application and interview process, and much more. All right. I hope by now you know about this amazing organization. And if you want to know more about the organization, the link to our website will be on the chat box. So please do well to check it out. Okay. So we'll be taking our questions now. If you have any question, you can use the React icon to raise your hand and I'll call on you to ask your question, or you can just drop it. Okay, while we are waiting for us to drop our questions, I would want to start with mine. Okay, so I have a question for you, Mr. Emmanuel Saka.
Who said that one just now? It's all right. I can hear you.
All right, sir. So my question is, what inspired you to actually pursue a digital career, and how did you get started?
This one is story you want me to talk, so
You can just give me summary.
when I was putting this paper together, my mind flashed back to my university days. Okay. I started the IT career was during one of my IT university. I went to Lagos to do IT. At the time, the computers then was 386. Some of us won't know what that is. But it was 386. So it was MS-DOS that was the operating system. So computers were scarce. I'm sure there were just a handful in Nigeria at the time. So my uncle, I'll mention his name, Tony Agemome, who I was with at the time, had a computer. He likes tech, so he had a computer. Interestingly, he allowed me. I mean, I was young and computer was like priceless. You build something around it, it's you revere it. He allowed me free access to the computer. In fact, that was actually the joker for me. He allowed me free access to the computer. Then there was one version of Corel Draw, that Corel One or something like that. So just not to offend him, every time I use the computer, I would ensure that I know how to take myself back to the way it was before I started using it. So because I didn't want to offend him, like I did something and I can't get it back anymore. So it made me extremely careful and it made me very bold because I was not afraid of the computer. A lot of people were afraid of the computer. So when I got back to school I did electronic engineering. In my 400 level, my 500 level, my HOD then, now I was now the person managing his computer because I had understood computers and things like that, so that is how it all started. So from that as I just left school, it was all computer. So I would say the journey started because, a magnanimous person like my uncle allowed me privileged access to a computer that a lot of people didn't know what to do about, have any access to at the time. So it made me build confidence. And then I've always been fascinated about gadgets. So I started building the career from there. I got into infrastructure. From infrastructure, I built into digital products, started my ISP in Benin then. Eventually, I started my own, got NCC licensing, and we built our infrastructure, fiber, wireless. We spread across the entire country. We entered into emergency responses, cards, computer-aided dispatch systems, a lot of stuff that we do. I mean, even some mentoring things, some things like Coursera, Gcademic. There are things that we do, that to help, and there are things that we're also trying to do to give back. So your question, how did I start? That's how I started. That's how I progressed to this time. And now a lot of things that's going on in my head and my team said, I have a great team, very great team in Benin. It's avenues to give back like this. Give back, just, shaping people's lives, put them in the right path, because like, we are in the internet. When there's no going out of it, the future is we're going to get deeper and deeper into it. That is why digital careers is very important. That is why being tech savvy is very important for parents, for children, everybody. There's nobody that should be left out. Everyone needs to build some capacity. Whether you want to use it to make money or manage your home or manage your business, you need to build some capacity. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. You answered the question very well. Thank you. So we have another question on the chat box for you. The person specifically told me to ask you. So he said, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but I'm guessing it's a he, Douglas. So he said, I'm struggling to determine the best career path for myself. And he's asking the strategies that he can use to discover his strengths and interests in the tech industry and find a career path that aligns with his goals and aspirations.
Strategy. Thank you very much. It's a very thoughtful question, brilliant question. I did highlight some strategies, some ways to go about it, like step by step. You need to first self-examine yourself. You just self-examine yourself. You need to be able to quickly work out the kind of things that you like. For example, do you think you can deal with programs and codes? You kind of have an idea what that means. So a lot of numbers, a lot of logic and things like that. You should be able to answer that question. It's a very simple answer. Just answer that question. If the answer is yes, okay. Do I want to go into that? I advise a lot of people, especially the female, because that's very consuming. It can consume you because once you get into that, it's like a rabbit hole. You just keep going deeper and deeper. So you don't want to balance those kinds of things. You want to also look at your own life as it is. How far do you want to go? How do you want it to impact you as a person? If you have a family, how is it going to impact those things? You have to think about those things because IT is interesting. Like I said, it can suck you right in. So you have to think about all those things. Now, if you're going into programming, then your job is cut out for you. You can already see where you are going to be going to. Like my co-speaker, the direction he is, brilliant programmer. You go into that. I mean, they are the guys that make everything work. What we are looking at right now is that the guys that at the back guys, they're the ones that make everything work. If not, you want to look at the direction you want to go into. If you don't want to go into all that, if you are, like I talked about, if you think that you have the ability to be strategic, you know how to navigate issues. Are you there? Your image is still, moderator. Am I being heard?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you know how to navigate issues and things like that. That would mean that you have some form of skills and strategy, because everything is about strategy. You have to have a plan, clearly laid out structure of how you want to achieve something. So you need to first self-evaluate yourself. You need to determine the path that you want to go to. So by just simple way, just ask yourself some basic questions, like I just said just now. Then you now go into how you're going to get materials or build capacity in this direction which you have determined, and start your training journey. Then from there you do your certification and things like that. So I think the key thing, your question is how to determine the right career path. Your key thing is to look at your circumstance. Don't put money inside. Don't put money inside. It's not here. Look at your circumstance. Then try to look at your your own kind of person, because you can see that IT and ICT, digital careers and digital world is life itself. So everything in life is caught, is everything is represented in the digital space. So you think about, you ask yourself, how can I apply myself based on you? I mean, you know yourself. That question is important. So if you answer that question correctly, you'll be able to determine the direction you need to go. All the additional thing you might need is just to get more insight to the different career paths. I highlighted a few of them in my presentation. You might want to just do a quick search and see, okay, based on this thing, I think I'm a strategist, I'm a good thinker, I think quickly. You understand? I can work under pressure, all those kind of things. Then you choose the right one that you should be. Then you might need to get a mentor. If you can find a free mentoring platform, fine. If it's something that you have to pay for, I don't know. Well, hopefully it's not too pricey. Then, because mentors are very important. That's one thing we don't do a lot in Nigeria. Mentors are very important because once you have a good mentor, you're almost kind of certain that you're going to make it. Again, a digression. I'm actually thinking, I mean, some way of maybe doing a case study about the people in the East, because their mentorship structure is outstanding. That is just it. Because when I look at it, I'm like, really? I mean, these guys understand something a lot of people don't understand. Because a lot of times, the people that they mentored, their mentees, they eventually make it. That is the truth. They make it. They make it. So there's something correct that they are doing. And if we can understand it and document it correctly, replicate it in other areas, we'll also succeed. So that's to underscore my point that mentoring is very important. You need to get a mentor. Someone that really understands. It's a reference point positively in the industry. That will help you. So yeah, that's what I would say as an answer to your question.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Douglas, I hope he was able to answer your question well. Do we have any other question? You can just raise your hand and I'll call on you. Okay, in the absence of more questions, I will ask my second question. So this is for you, Mr. Adams. So my question is, what mistakes or setbacks shaped your career and what did you learn from them?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Like I said earlier, one of the mistakes I made in the beginning, I didn't have anyone to mentor me. That's what he said. I didn't have anyone to tell me which path to follow. And so I was doing everything. I was doing virtually everything you can imagine. I create animations, I create videos, I write codes, I write proposals, submit. I do everything myself. I know it was so and then when I now started creating apps, I started creating apps. Like I have several businesses which I registered. I'll go here. I'll register True Plots Real Estate Limited. It's a website where you market real estate. Once I just have this idea because I could code, I would just go to the CSC, get it registered, and then I run B12 Systems Limited. It's an IT firm, and then I registered Mega Flips Limited, which is also an e-commerce business. But along the line, I found out that I was dividing my strengths. I wasn't able to perfect on one of them. I was just here, there. And so it slowed down my progress in life. And then I didn't really, I couldn't keep up with doing the too many things at the time. So, and then as I was getting much older, and I found that you have to just concentrate on a certain aspect and be very good in it. So you can now decide to say, okay, I know that there's digital marketing. I know there is animation. I know there is programming. So what should I do? You now say, okay, I want to do programming. Now, in the programming, when you go to, if you want to work, you want to build apps for yourself, or you want to work for organizations, you have to tell yourself that. They say, okay, I want to build apps for myself. I want to work for an organization. Okay, if you want to work for an organization, what area of programming? Because there are over, let me say, 50 or 30 frameworks. You can name them: HTML, CSS, Tailwind, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js. Under JavaScript, there are several JavaScript frameworks like Next.js, Node, So there are several of them, Angular. Then when it comes to database systems, you have MySQL, you have MongoDB. So they are so numerous. You now ask yourself, which one do I want to do? Because when you get online, you see this recruiter, he will tell you, I want someone that will do Python and maybe MongoDB. Another one will say, I want someone that would do, let's say, JavaScript and then MySQL. Another one. So there are different requirements for different. So you have to get focused on, let's just say, you know what you want, and then stick to those things and become perfect in them. It will help you in the long run. Then you need to learn a bit of those things, but there should be one or three or two that you can perfect very well. And then if you are focusing on programming, then you just leave animation. It's not going to work, because we need perfection in these areas. And so that's my advice for anyone. If you want to focus on digital marketing, be good at it, and then be an industry leader in that aspect. If you want to go into programming, if you want to go into cybersecurity, just stick to it. You learn your CCNA, you learn everything, you go into hacking, you go into ethical hacking, just stick to that line and then be the best. I think that would be my advice for now. Thank you so much. I hope I answered that.
Yes, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for that amazing answer. Okay. So please, once again, to get to know more about this organization that brought this event to you, the link to our website is on the chat box. Please do click on it and check out our services. All right, please, do we have any other questions? Is there any other person that wants to ask any question? You can just unmute and speak, or drop your question in the chat box. Any questions? Okay, I'm guessing the silence means no question then. And thank you so much, our amazing speakers, for your presentations. Me personally, I know I learned a lot of things. My take home is the fact of where Mr. Adams say, pick one thing and focus on it. Yeah. So pick one thing and focus on it and try to do it better and be the best in that field. All right. Thank you so much once again, our amazing speakers, and to every other person that's brought out time to join us on this event today. Okay, I think there's a question on the chat box. Okay, this person says, if the speakers can advise which parts I should perfect on towards modern world.
Okay, maybe I'll just chip in something.
Okay.
Like it depends on which aspect you want to do. I don't know if it's the programming, or if it's the no code, or if it's animation, video, there are several parts of it. So you have to be specific in which part you want to choose. And then if it's in terms of programming, I would advise you either learn JavaScript and perfect it, because JavaScript have a lot of framework, but it has a harder learning curve because of the different syntaxes, the functions, and but and then you can learn a Python programming language, because most AI tools, they go with Python, like data science, data analysis, use Python, image processing, you use Python, video, use Python. So you can decide to use Python. And then, okay, I get you. You say you are currently in the university. Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. No, I think the question,
Okay.
this question of correcting the university is from another person, Elvis.
Okay. He said, I'm currently in university, and okay, let me leave that question. Let me just complete this one answer. So, he said he wants to focus on database backend system. And there are several database backend systems like MySQL. MySQL is a relational database management system, which is maybe rigid. It's quite rigid. I would say it's rigid. Most beginners use MySQL, but when it comes to production, most of the database they use there is PostgreSQL and then this MongoDB. But there are other databases like Redis, which they are very fast. You can use them in a certain part of your application stack. But you can decide to focus on MongoDB, because MongoDB is a no object, it's an object database. Like, it's not a relational database, a management system like MySQL, which is if you want to put unstructured data, you use MongoDB. And then most of this data analysis, data processing, like this large language model, machine learning, and the rest, they use a lot of unstructured data, because you get volumes of data from so many places which are not structured. And that MongoDB database can handle it. And it's very easy to learn. So you learn MongoDB. But if you want structured data, like you have a fixed column in your record, your database record, and you have a fixed width of record, then you use MySQL. That's why they call it SQL, structured query language. It's structured. Once you create it, the type of data you put in those databases must be structured. But we are in a world of objects. Even programming has to do with objects, object-oriented programming. So everything is an object. And then the way the MongoDB database is that it maps objects the way it is in the real world into the database. So I think if you want to do data analysis, data science, and then you can go the MongoDB way, or you can go Progress SQL. But if you want to do more structured and data, you can choose MySQL or SQLite 3, which can go for you. So I think that's the little advice I can.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I think this last question, I'll direct it to Mr. Emmanuel. So the person said that he's currently in the university and is doing a different course that isn't IT. That would you advise him to just ignore he's currently learning IT now, and would you advise him to ignore his course that he's studying now and just focus on what he likes?
I'm sure most of the people, thank you for the question. I don't know your name, but thank you for the question. It's a good question. And a lot of people may already know the answer I'm going to give, because during my presentation, I kind of talked about this. No, definitely, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. The university degree has its place, whether it's political science, whatever it is, it has its place in the grand scheme of things, especially in the distant future. Like I said, you can continue your IT and everything, grow in it, excel in it, become a leader in it, But there's a time will come where, especially when it comes to management, top executive management positions, except you don't really, you don't want to do that, or maybe you are it's entrepreneurship that's in your mind. So you're thinking about starting to set up your own anyway. You are the CEO. Maybe there, but even at that, you're already there. You're already on that journey to acquiring a university degree. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Please go on the journey. Lots of people have done it. It's not going to be too much for you to combine your schoolwork and this and your flair, your passion, which is IT. It's not going to be, a lot of people do it. You will get both of them. You would keep your university degree on one side, just keep it in the cooler there till you eventually need it sometime in the future. And then fire on with your ICT and your skills and your tech skills, and you excel. I wish you the very, very best. Just continue on that road. You will make it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Elvis, I hope he's been able to answer your question. So this would be our last questions, please. It says, which IT skills do you advise for kids in their vibrant stages of life, excluding coding?
That's for me.
Yeah.
In their early stages, apart from coding, because they're building, they're building their mental capacity. So coding seems to be the right thing, because every other thing requires a certain level of having been schooled to be able to understand it. So what is most relevant during those formatory years, those very young, that very young age, is actually coding. Because what else are they going to do? Governance, risk, security, strategy. Those things are not applicable for children at that age. But coding, yes, it helps them. So yes, it's coding. It still has to be coding. I can't readily tell you something else right now.
All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Stephen, I hope he's been able to answer your question. So that will be the last question. And once again, thank you everyone for joining us today on this ICT Career Talk. I hope you learned something today, because I did. And see you next time on this our event. It's going to be taking place again on the last Saturday of June 2025. And yeah, thank you once again to our amazing speakers. I greatly appreciate you bringing out time to join us here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that brings us to the end of the event. And do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so
sir.
much
Yeah.
for bringing me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.